Fans have been coming in for a midweek matchup, the 19th of the Hurricanes 2025 regular season, and the fourth between the two cross-conference rivals here at Frazier Field in Louisburg, North Carolina. Lewisburg hosting Pitt Community College this afternoon, with the action coming to you right here live from behind the backstop on Louisburg Sports Network. With Caden Lazley, I'm Bill Martone. Last Tuesday, the Hurricanes picked up a midweek win against Lenoir after 8.5 innings with a 7-15 win here at historic Frazier Field. This afternoon, the Bulldogs come into today with a 4-3 record since they last played Lewisburg, sitting in last place of the D2 East Conference, while the Hurricanes are at 500 in the D2 West. The Hurricanes ready to impart some obedience training on the pesky Bulldogs in this fourth of 5 for the season. Stay tuned to find out right here on the Louisburg Sports Network. Leading off for the Bulldogs is Stallings with Scarborough and Mason behind him on deck and double deck. Jones, Greenway, Pospisil, Chavez, Bolt, and Goodwin will round out the order. Henry Good gets the start, and the first pitch, a called strike. Welcome back, Caden. You did a fine job a week ago here on a Tuesday night all by yourself. Flying solo. Well done.
Yeah, it's good to be back, Bill. I'm thankful for the opportunity and just glad to be back at it, working with you today.
Costello behind the plate, catching for Henry Good, the freshman starter, with a lone win under his belt. And he puts a K in to start off the game as he sends the leadoff batter, Stallings, back to the dugout. Scarborough comes in as the second batter, playing right field. Cusick and Slowinski up the middle of the infield. Troy Daniels and Anthony Jones on the infield corners. Green, Kreiner, and our right fielder is Nick Labello. Henry Good with a 1-2 count on the second batter. If you're just joining us, you missed a leadoff strikeout by the freshman starter.
Pretty good pitch by Henry there. Just misses, just low and away in the zone. Make the count full.
The 3-2 fans him, and that's quick 2 outs for Henry Good and the Hurricanes.
Henry with his 6th strikeout of the year in his first start.
So Stallings and Scarborough go down 1-2 in order with strikeouts, brings up Mason. Breaking ball finds the strike zone. 2-1 with 2 outs, nobody on. Top of the first inning, Hurricanes and the Bulldogs. Henry just painting the corners.
Looking pretty good so far.
The 2-2. Swung on, hit up the middle. Soft bounce into the glove of Stephen Kreiner.
Pretty good pitch right there. In the count he was in. Yeah, hitter made a good swing on it. Put one back up the middle.
Two outs, runner on first. The 1-0. Bit of a breaking ball finds the front corner of the strike zone. Mason, the third batter in the lineup for the Pitt Bulldogs. Want to call them the Pit Bulls. Good with the dart fastball.
That's painted right there, right on the black for strike two to get ahead in the count right there. Pretty good pitch by Henry.
Jones in the on-deck circle. Might not make it in this inning. The 1-2. Runner goes, and right down Broadway. Henry Good.
Henry Good with a great inning right there. He's three strikeouts in his first start, in his first inning. That's pretty good. It'll put him up to 7 strikeouts on the season.
Stalling Scarborough and Jones go down on strikes while Mason reaches on one hit, but left on base. When the Bulldogs come back up at the top of the second, Greenway, Pospisil, and Chavez due up. Leading off are your Louisburg Hurricanes. Teowa Costello, followed by Colin Cusick and Evan Slewinski in the top 3 spots. Kenny Shadle DHing for Henry Good, batting cleanup, followed by Anthony Jones in the power position with James Green, Stephen Kreiner, and Troy Daniels rounding out the order. Starting pitcher for the Bulldogs is Mason.
Teowa Costello coming up to the plate, leading off for your Hurricanes. He comes from Manhattan. He went to Poly Prep High School. He's a big leader for the Hurricanes team here. He's been hitting pretty good, very reliable hitter for the Hurricanes. Hopefully he's going to step in and do some damage here.
Hurricanes, catcher number 13, Teowa Costello.
Tay's going to watch ball 1 low and in there. Teowa's going to put a swing onto one of the shortstop. It's going to go off his glove. That's going to be an E6. Teowa's going to lead it off. Get on base, though, for Colin Cusick.
Leadoff batter reaches on an error and starts off the Hurricanes with a base runner. Second baseman now, Colin Cusick, steps in for his first visit. in the batter's box this afternoon?
Colin Cusick out of Charlotte, North Carolina. He went to Huff High School. He's been playing a really good second base and been swinging it well. Tay with a stolen base there. He's gonna advance safely.
Jones deals the 1-0, and it's sliced foul out of play by the second baseman. Cusick comes into today batting .356 with a .415 on-base percentage.
Look, Cusick gets nailed by one. Right in the back. He's going to walk over to first base. It's going to bring your shortstop, Evan Slawinski, up to the plate with two runners on base.
The Hurricanes, number 6, the shortstop, Evan Slawinski.
Hopefully Slaw can put one in the gap here and score both runs. Keep it no outs here for your Hurricanes.
835 for the on-base plus slugging for Slawinski. One bounce to the second baseman for 6. It'll be all that the infield can manage. So leaves the Hurricanes with first and third, one out.
Now coming up to bat, the designated hitter, number 30, Kenny Shader.
Gorham is the pitcher. We were told it was Mason, but seems there was a late scratch on the lineup for the Pitt Bulldogs. I'll get it straight. Gorham with the pickoff to first, not in time. Slawinski on first, Costello on third, and Kenny Shadle straddling the batter's box steps in to face off for the first time against Gorham. Gorham at just 6 pitches with runners on the corners. And Bolt, the catcher for Pitt Community College, keeps that first one in front of him. Shadle, 296. With a team-leading 5 home runs. Our crew chief for today is Evan Kirk, with Tony McGee picking up the middle infield. Shadle with the check swing on a 2-0, takes a called strike. One out, first and third, bottom of the first inning with the Hurricanes showing an advantage at the moment. One out. The 2-1. Pulled in the left field. That'll get down in front of Greenway. And Tewa Costello puts the first run on the board for the Hurricanes. RBI single for Kenny Shadle.
Kenny Shadle on a hot streak right now. He had 4 home runs in a 2-day stretch in the last series we played. He's been hitting it very well. Anthony Jones coming up to the plate here, your first baseman. He's a two-way guy here. He can do just about all you need to do for your team here. He can pitch, he can hit, he's a great leader.
Slowinski on second, Shadle on first, and the Hurricanes' first baseman, Anthony Jones.
That one called a little inside on Jones there. Looks like he's living inside to Jones. See if he comes back inside. Jones is a very good two-strike hitter. Fouls one off. He's gonna stay alive and fight.
Anthony Jones with 19 RBIs, 13 walks, and sits second behind Shadle with 4 home runs so far this season. The 0-2 pulled hard to the shortstop. Stallings can't hold on to it.
It's going to be another E6 for your Bulldogs here. It's going to load the bases for the Hurricanes for Mr. James Green.
Now up to bat, left fielder, number 42, James Green.
Hopefully James can put a barrel on one right here.
On base plus slugging of 608 for the left fielder Green. First pitch inside, and he rips that one over the barn. Out of play.
Got a hold of that one there, just a little foul. I think it was probably it was really inside there. I don't even know how he got a barrel on that one.
Foul tip into the glove of Bolt.
Looked like a change up there.
Puts Green behind in the count quickly 0-2 with bases loaded, 1 out. Bottom of the first inning if you're just joining us. Appreciate you stepping in to follow along with the Louisburg College Hurricanes as they face off against Pitt Community College for the 4th time this season. Out of a total of 5 matchups, there will be another midweek game that'll complete the 5-game set between these two schools for this year. And a check swing out of play. Ground ball in foul territory to Chavez, the first baseman. And Jones and Gorham are in a bit of a battle with a number of foul balls. The count is 1-2 with 1 out and the bases loaded. And this will put Slowinski in a rundown between third and home. And he'll be tagged just before home plate by Chavez, the first baseman. Shadle advances to third, while Jones stays put at first. The 1-2.
James Green going to make it a 7-pitch at bat. He's fouled off about 3 pitches here. He's staying alive. He's going to keep fighting here with the bases, with runners on first and third here.
The 1-2. Inside into the Hurricanes dugout. Keeping his teammates on their toes. The 1-2 again. High and away, 2-2. The payoff pitch swung on and looped right to the second baseman for the third out. 1 run scores and 2 left on as we move to the top of the second inning here at Frazier Field. Louisburg College Baseball on the Louisburg Sports Network, brought to you in part by Murphy Hay and Feed, feeding farms, families, and the community for over 30 years. And Mangum Insurance Agency, with offices in Coates and Dunn, North Carolina, products and service for each and every situation. And Johnny's Barbecue, located in Louisburg, North Carolina, and offering authentic Eastern North Carolina whole hog barbecue. Beautiful midweek game here at the historic Frazier Field. Temperatures in the high 70s. 19% humidity means that it is crisp, clear skies, and absolutely a gorgeous day for a baseball game. Thank you for joining us live from behind the backstop on YouTube. About 35 viewers in there right now following along with us. Forward that link on to your friends and family. Have them come on in and make a party out of it on a Wednesday afternoon. We're coming to you live at the far end of West College Street in the historic Louisburg, North Carolina village and campus of Louisburg College. Henry Good is on the mound again for the Hurricanes. Troy Daniels 5-3 to Jones.
Henry Good getting another quick out to start the inning. Henry Good out of Garner High School. He's from Garner, North Carolina.
Good faced 4 batters in the top of the first inning, struck out 3 and only allowed 1 hit. Pospisil now the batter. European player.
Good pitch by Good there, just caught the black. He's gonna try to get back in this count and get ahead.
The 2-1. Breaking ball. Outside in on Pospisil.
It's a great pitch right there.
Hard hit off the mound. Slowinski backpedals and gets it over, 6-3.
Slowinski going to make a good play over there short. Henry's going to get 2 quick ground balls.
Zach Chavez now in the order with Bolt, the catcher, behind him in the on-deck circle. Rounds out the order for the Bulldogs. He looks at a first pitch called strike from Henry Good. Good at just 28 pitches here in the top of the second inning with 2 outs. He's committed to play Senior Legion baseball under head coach Chris Cook for the Garner Nationals this coming summer. Fastball fouled off. Full count with 2 outs. And the payoff pitch loses the first baseman to a walk. And that brings Bolt to the plate. First pitch, a touch outside, says the home plate umpire, Evan Kirk. Tony McGee on the infield with a runner on first and 2 outs. Henry Good deals the 1-0 and drops that one into the strike zone after it passes just under the hands of the catcher, or the batter, who is the catcher for Pitt. Pulled hard down the left field foul line, out of play. 1-2. Henry Good is doing a great job of just keeping this Pitt Community College, the Bulldogs, off their game. The 1-2. Swung on. Fouled out of play. Anthony Jones will run out of room before it finds the ground behind the clubhouse. Good deals the 1-2. And he just misses a bit wide.
It's a pretty good pitch. I think that's the exact pitch you want to throw in that type of count there. Maybe try to get him to chase.
Deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a runner on first. Reset the pitch clock on Henry Good as he stepped off the rubber. The 2-2. Fouled out of play past Troy Daniel, who chases it out of frame. The 2-2. Just misses. Good just seems to be painting at will the strike zone and really making it challenging for all the Pitt batters. Inside breaking ball, James Green and Troy Daniels converging, out of play. James Green diving into the bullpen, makes the play.
What a grab.
Sliding across the turf in the bullpen for the Bulldogs is James Green, hardest working man at Louisburg College.
And That is the truth. He's never afraid to put his body on the line, as you can tell by that play right there. Lays out to grab one over the left field line right into the opposing team's bullpen.
His whole team out there in foul territory, greeting him as he comes in, thanking him for sacrificing himself.
I know Henry's happy he got to that one.
So the Bulldogs complete their batting lineup with Bolt flying out in foul territory to James Green. When they come back to bat at the top of the third will be Stallings, Scarborough, and Mason. Due up for the Hurricanes, Stephen Kreiner, Troy Daniels, and Nick Lobello. Kreiner playing center field, Daniels at third, and Lobello in right. Been a couple of weeks worth of illnesses and injuries for the Hurricanes, Caden, that has had Coach Herring mixing up his players in their normal positions, but yet the Hurricanes still able to pick up a win here and there, especially last Tuesday here against Lenore Community College. Really exciting game. You had the honors of doing the broadcast, and it was a real treat to listen to you call the game the entirety of the 8.5 innings.
No, well, I was appreciative of the opportunity. I was just glad to be able to support my team and have some fun while I was doing it.
Yeah, you did a great job at it, and the team made it really fun to watch that game. Back and forth, runs going on both sides of the scoreboard, and by the end of the top of the ninth, the Hurricanes with the 17-15 victory.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was a very fun experience. Hopefully we can get another win tonight, scratch another W across the board.
Kreiner slashes at the first pitch, and that's going to dunk just fair? No, just foul. Hopeful I was. Tony McGee puts his hands up down the right field line.
Yeah, from the angle we had in the booth here, it looked to be fair. I thought Kreiner was gonna get two on that little flare to right field.
Chavez, the first baseman, Mason, the second baseman, and Scarborough, all converging. It was finding that Bermuda Triangle between the three of them, and fortunately enough, it did drop just foul on the right side of that line. And now Kreiner slashes at the next pitch and goes in the opposite direction.
Kreiner trying to get on time of one right here. If he does, he'll hit it pretty hard somewhere. It comes off of his bat very hot.
Seventh batter in a lineup of 9. And Gorham goes way outside for the third pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Gets him on the breaking ball.
Now up to bat the third baseman, number 8, Troy Daniels.
Daniels steps in for the first time today. Had his first collegiate home run a couple of games ago. Batting .286 with an .840 on base plus slugging for the freshman infielder.
Troy's seen the third baseman playing a little deep there. He was I think he was gonna try to drag bunt there and get one down for get a runner on base to bring up Nick Lobello.
Daniels swings over the top of a cutter from Gorham. 0-2. Lobello on deck. 1 out. And a swing and a miss makes it 2. Gorham all of a sudden seems to have found that cutter on a 2-strike count.
Now coming up to bat, the right fielder, number 39, Nick Lobello.
Nick Lobello, the sophomore outfielder, has appeared in 15 games, has had 45 at-bats, and he looks at a first pitch called strike from Gorham.
Nick Labello, also from New York.
High fly ball. Center field, in comes Jones, and he gets under it.
It's a tough grab to make there. It was hit about a mile in the sky.
Kreiner, Daniels, Labello go down 1, 2, 3 in order. And when the Canes come back in the bottom of the third, to the top of the lineup, Costello, Cusick, and Slewinski. Henry Good back on the mound for the Hurricanes, while Goodwin is waiting in the on-deck circle. Behind him will be Stallings and Scarborough. Goodwin completes the lineup of 9 batters for Pitt Community College Bulldogs. One-run game as we start the top of the third inning in Louisburg, North Carolina. You're watching the Louisburg College Hurricanes taking on the Pitt Community College Bulldogs in the 4th matchup this season. They'll have one more in a couple of weeks to round out the season between the two clubs. Henry Good is facing off against Goodwin to start off the third inning. 44 pitches for the freshman right-hander, and he comes down the middle of the plate for a called strike. 3 balls, 1 strike, no outs on the leadoff batter. And a foul tip into Costello's glove makes it a full count.
Hopefully going to come all the way back right here and strike him out.
A little bit of a grunt from Costello.
It's like it may have came off of his like his inner thigh maybe.
He's a tough hombre.
Oh yeah.
Evan Kirk, the home plate umpire and crew chief for this afternoon's game, giving Costello a little breather as he walks out to Henry Good to give him a new baseball. It's always good to see the way the umpires take care of the catchers, and even the catchers will return the favor if the umpire takes one on a foul ball.
Yeah, me and Ricky Cook had a word with both of the umpires before the game. Both of them very cool, personable people.
The payoff pitch, breaking ball, swing and a miss. And Henry Good with the 4th strikeout gets Goodwin here to start off the third. Stallings now comes in. He struck out to start off the game. The 1-0, breaking ball off the mask of Costello. The 1-1. Swung on, chopped to Slewinski at third, backhanded, and across to Jones. 6-3. Two up, two down brings the right fielder Scarborough. He struck out as well in the top of the first inning. First offering from Henry Good, misses a little bit. The 1-0. Fly ball, right field. Lobello going back to the track, comes under it. And that makes it a 1-2-3 inning for Henry Good and the Louisburg Hurricanes.
I know the dugout's very happy with Henry Good there. Have had 3 very good innings in a row. Hopefully he can come back out for about 5 more.
54 pitches for the freshman right-hander as he closes out the top of the third inning. He's on a really good pace. When the Bulldogs go back to the plate in the top of the fourth inning, it'll be Mason, Jones, and Greenway. But right now, to start off the bottom of the third inning for the Hurricanes, top of the order, Teowa Costello, Colin Cusick, and Evan Slewinski trying to get something started in the bottom of the third. First pitch from Gorham to Costello, a called strike. And the high heat well above the strike zone makes it a 1-1 count on the leadoff batter in the bottom of the third. Gorham, very diligent to read that pitch communicator on his wrist. Hard hit, line drive over the reaching glove of the shortstop, Stallings. Perfectly executed leadoff line drive over the top of the shortstop into shallow left center field.
Not exactly sure how those pitch indicators work on your wrist. We don't use those here. We just use the pitch comm through the catcher.
Teowa Costello leading in batting average for the Hurricanes at .375. Just helped his cause there with a single. Colin Cusick now, for his second trip, is right behind him, batting .356.
Pretty good to hold up there by Cusick.
Head first dive, and Tony McGee says he was safe That is Tewa Costello. The pickoff from Gorham not in time. Coach Herring going 1, 2, 3 in batting order and hitting order with regard to the average. Costello, Cusick, and Slawinski. Top of the average for the team.
Cusick almost plunked by another one there. That would have made it 2 on the day for him.
Costello doing a fine job of distracting Gorham with the, I call it the Anthony Volpe lead, where you get that momentum, and he's gone in a hard hit and run play. Goes into right field to Scarborough. So Mason pulled off as the second baseman to cover the bag as Tewa Costello on a hit and run call from Coach Herring.
Now, coming up to bat,
That was a perfectly executed hit and run there by Cusick. That's textbook baseball right there. That's what we practice every day.
The base hit, though, takes away another stolen base for Costello, but I'm sure he's okay with it. 2 hits now to start off the bottom of the 3rd inning for the Hurricanes. And Evan Slawinski is 0 for 1 as he steps in for the second time. He hit into a fielder's choice, so reached on a fielder's choice. Eventually got picked off in a rundown between third and home in the 1st inning. Takes the first pitch from Gorham. The 1-0. Attempted bunt goes foul into Bolt.
Not sure where it hit him. The umpire's going to go walk out with the pitcher, though, there. That normally means he's going to give the catcher some time.
And there's Bolt flexing his inner legs, and home plate umpire Evan Kirk calling Slawinski back to the batter's box. Base coaches for today: Bryce Myers at 3rd, Matt Tulloch at 1st, Coach Herring in the dugout. Gorham stepped off, turned around, did not throw, but Costello has him thoroughly distracted on the base path.
It's picked off 4 or 5 times here.
Costello goes, hit and run again. Roller to Mason, and it gets past him. So Costello scores. Cusick gets to 3rd. And the Hurricanes exercising some obedience training here in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
Now, coming up to that, the designated hitter,
Bulldogs really, Bulldogs middle infield really giving us some opportunities to capitalize on, and I think we're doing pretty good here. 2 runs with the 2 runs on 3 hits with 3 errors they've made.
Slawinski reaches on an error. Cusick gets to 3rd. And Costello scores. And Kenny Shadle steps in for his 2nd trip. He's 1 for 1. Shadle singled on a line drive to the left fielder in his first at-bat.
Pitcher Gorham thrown 2 pretty good breaking balls here early in the count to make it 0-2.
His efficiency starting the 4th inning actually is quite good with 44. However, 3 hits and 2 runs on 3 errors is kind of the lopsided part of that statistic. Runner goes, backhanded gets away from Bolt, and charging is Colin Cusick. So Slewinski takes off. Presumably Bolt may be distracted by it, tries to backhand a breaking ball from Gorham. It gets away from him, and Cusick, already with the healthy lead off a third, charges in to score a third run, second of the inning. Two-two count on the DH, Kenny Shadle. Shadle very selective as a hitter. Swing and a miss on the breaking ball. 1 out, 2 runs scored. And Anthony Jones, the first baseman for your Louisburg College Hurricanes, stepping in for the second time. Jones reached on an error in his first at-bat.
Jones with an RBI opportunity here. He's gonna look to hit something hard and score this run, at least advance him.
High fastball gets hacked foul. The 1-1 offered to Anthony Jones, a called strike. 1 out, runner on, 2 runs scored here in the bottom of the third inning. You're watching Louisburg College Hurricanes baseball, live from behind the backstop on the Louisburg Sports Network. Hard hit, left center field. Oncoming is Greenway, and he gets under it.
Looked like it may have came off the end just a little bit off of Jones's bat there.
Slewinski unable to tag up. He's at second with 2 outs now. And James Green comes in. He lined out to the second baseman in the first inning to end the first inning.
James Green.
The 52nd pitch from Gorham, a called strike. And the breaking ball, swing and a miss. So Green quickly behind in the count, 0-2 with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. Slewinski reached on an error and has since been able to get down to second. Roller on the right side. 4-3 is going to finish the inning and opportunity. When the Hurricanes come back up, Kreiner, Daniels, and Labello. Bulldogs come to the plate with Mason to start off the top of the fourth inning. Henry Good back on the bump. No action in the bullpen just yet. And he's at 55 pitches, so Coach Herring likes what he sees so far from the right-handed freshman. First pitch to Mason, misses the strike zone. Mason with a single up the middle in his first at-bat on a full count. .3-0 count now to start the inning. And the breaking ball from Henry Good goes back to it. He seems to have the confidence in that when he needs it. The 3-1. Hard hit. On the run. Looks like Ryan Hartley in for James Green after he took that dive into the Bulldogs bullpen. So Coach Herring giving Green a little breather. Ryan Hartley in left now for Green. Kreiner in center, Labello in right. And Mason just reached on another base hit. He is 2 for 2 now. It looks like Mason actually picked up an extra base on that line drive into left field. Jones at the plate. He struck out in his first at bat. Popped up right side. Nick Labello charging in. Gets under it. And the runner holds. That is Mason, holds at second.
It's a good job by Labello there to keep the runner at second, keep him from advancing with only one out.
One out, runner on second. And Cam Greenway steps in. He grounded into a 5-3 out to start the second. The 1-0 inside. Gets a called strike. Surprised me. Runner goes. The throw is going to be in the right field. Ryan Hartley will come in on it. But Josh Mason will score. So the first run for the Bulldogs. And the breaking ball from Henry Good fills up the count. 2-2, one out, nobody on. No activity in the bullpen, so tells you a lot right there about Coach Herring's confidence in Henry Good. Giving him a chance. Grounder to Troy Daniels. Two-handed scoop in front of him and across. 5-3. Great play by Troy Daniels to keep it in front of him, using both hands to block it and keep it right in the pocket.
Yeah, I think if it didn't hit him in the glove there, it was gonna hit him in the chest, and he would have had an opportunity to pick it up and throw it out.
Cam Greenway with 2 ground outs, both to Troy Daniels. Jan Pospisil now.
That'd be some good information for our dugout to have there.
Pospisil grounded out to Slawinski in his first at bat in the top of the second inning. Hard hit through the right side. Kind of a seeing eye single. He got it right past Colin Cusick.
Got just enough of it.
That was not going to be reachable for Cusick, even though he can cover quite a bit of ground. Good now at 68 pitches.
It's a good pickoff attempt by Good right there. He almost got him. Runner slides back in. It's going to be a foul ball out of play there.
Chavez, the first baseman, walked in his first at-bat. Pickoff, not in time. Winds were only forecasted to be at about 5 miles an hour, gusting at the most, but we're still picking up a little bit of wispiness in the mics.
It's just about good for everywhere else besides the broadcast booth. I'm sure it feels amazing for the players on the field.
Yeah, picture perfect afternoon here at the historic Frazier Field. Henry Good deals the 1-1. Barton College scout here today, taking a look probably at both teams as they sit halfway between Louisburg and Winterville. The 1-2 swung on, out of play. Troy Daniels gives chase for a few and then lets it go. Two out, and Good with another pickoff attempt, keeping Pospisil honest. The pitch swung on. Kreiner, a couple steps back, makes it 3. 1 run scores, 1 left on. And Henry Good goes into the dugout with 72 pitches under his belt and 4 strikeouts, giving up only 1 run and a couple hits. Lost it. When the Bulldogs come back to the plate, Chavez, Bolton, Goodwin. Stephen Kreiner, Troy Daniels, and Nick Labello coming to the plate to start off the bottom of the 4th inning for the Hurricanes, leading 3-1 over the Pitt Community College Bulldogs here at Frazier Field in Louisburg, North Carolina. Caden Lasley, and myself, Bill Martone, bringing you play-by-play action for the 19th game of the 2025 regular season in Region 10, JUCO Baseball, NJCAA, live from behind the backstop on the Louisburg Sports Network, coming to you via YouTube.
You know, probably the nicest weather we've had out here today at Frazier Field. It's a beautiful day to be out here playing baseball, and Steven Croner's going to step in the box and hopefully do some damage here.
Check swing by Steven Kreiner on the first offering from Gorham. Hard hit on the left side, gets past the shortstop, Stallings. Houston Gorham.
Coming up to bat, the third baseman, number 8.
He's at 56 pitches.
Daniels.
Pickoff to first, not in time. Zach Chavez, the first baseman, puts the tag on Steven Kreiner. Another pickoff. Runner goes. The tag is not going to make it as a throw from Bolt. Patrick Bolt just a bit too high. Mason, though, does a valid job of jumping up over Steven Kreiner. Daniels swings at a breaking ball that goes outside. 0-2. The 0-2, and the same pitch gets the same result. Swing and a miss for the second time for the third baseman.
It's a pretty deceiving pitch from Gorham there. He's got a lot of produced a lot of outs from that pitch tonight.
Right fielder, number 39, Nick Lobello.
Third strikeout for Houston Gorham. And Nick Lobello, the right fielder for the Hurricanes. One out, runner on second, the 2-0. Swung on, hit hard in the left field, and that's over the fence. Nick Lobello with a 2-run homer. Here comes the boom. Two-run home run by the right fielder Nick Lobello over the left field fence brings the score 5-1 as we're in the bottom of the fourth inning.
Gonna roll the top of the lineup around here for the Hurricanes.
Back to the top is Teowa Costello with two singles. Well, a single and a reach on error, but scored in both the first and the third innings. The 1-1 fouled off out of play. Costello looks at that last pitch, and the count now. 2-2. Breaking ball. Chopped to Stallings across. 6-3 is not going to make it. Chavez unable to hold on to it with the dig. And Costello reaches. Hard to say if that would have been a base hit or not. Costello is speedy on the base paths, but Stallings kind of falling away from himself. Backhanded that one on a big chop from Costello. Had to throw across his body and did a good job of getting it over to Chavez, but that looks like it'll bring out Coach Tommy Eason, as Houston Gorham is at 67 pitches, and there's some early activity in the bullpen. So we'll see if Coach Eason uses up the first of 2 mound visits this inning, or if he just elects to relieve Gorham.
Normally these midweek games are staff games, and it looks like both the starters for both teams have went 4 innings, 4 pretty good innings from both starters.
Gorham so far with 3 1/3 innings of work, has given up 6 hits, 5 runs, no walks, and has had 4 strikeouts. So Coach Tommy Eason elects to leave the right-handed freshman from Whiteset, North Carolina, Dudley High School, on the bump. One out and a runner on first. Costello with the very productive antics, as every base runner should be. Lots of activity, lots of distraction for the pitcher, and Gorham gets drawn into a pickoff over to Chavez. Colin Cusick fouls that one down the left field line. He singled in his last at-bat, was hit by a pitch in the first inning. So that makes him 1 for 1. Kind of stinks, you get hit by a pitch and it doesn't help your stats any, even though there is an HBP stat line. 1 out, 1 on.
I guess it is the stat for taking one for your team.
Costello really trying to draw Gorham's attention. The freshman right-hander, though, is handling it really well. Time called by Evan Kirk. And he's going to charge the pitcher with stepping off and resetting the clock. I want to say that might be his second of the game. Cusick watches that one go by, and Costello gets tagged as he slid over the top of the base, says Tony McGee. Oh. Yep. Well, not sure. Yep. All right. So he's out. I think otherwise, had he not lost contact with second base, he would have actually picked up another stolen base.
Oh, yeah, he would have been safe there at second.
The 2-1. Outside edge, but gets the call.
Yeah, hits the black there.
I like the aggressiveness from Costello, though. That's exactly the kind of leadoff activity you needed in your lineup. The 2-2.
Yeah, you want to get that run into scoring position, and he had the bag too. It just happened to slide off a little bit. It's kind of a perfect time and play for the middle infielder there too, just to get the tag on him.
The payoff pitch, hit hard. Stallings keeps it in front of him. 6-3.
That one hit right into his glove there by Cusick. It was struck hard, though, by your second baseman.
When the Hurricanes come back to the plate in the fifth, Slowinski, Shadle, and Jones. Chavez, Bolt, and Goodwin coming up for the Bulldogs as Coach Herring puts Henry Good back on the bump. Four innings of work with 73 pitches, 43 strikes, facing 16 batters, has 4 strikeouts. Off-speed breaking ball after the first pitch that missed. 1-1 now on the leadoff batter, Zach Chavez. He walked in his first at-bat in the second inning. And Henry Good dotting corners, crossing T's. The 1-2. Inside. Some early activity in the bullpen right now. Just some soft pitch and catch. And a full count on the leadoff batter as we start the fifth inning here at Frazier Field. Hard hit left field. Hartley back. And it sounds like it goes off either the top of the, off the top of the fence. And now it looks like Tony McGee calls it a home run.
It's 2 line drive home runs, one hit by both teams here. Both out of left field too. Looks like it ball might be carrying out of here pretty quick.
So the Bulldogs with 2 runs on 4 hits as we start the top of the fifth inning. That is total hits so far and total runs. They scored 1 in the fourth and 1 there on a solo home run from Chavez. Patrick Bolt. He's the one that flied out to James Green in foul territory. James Green laid out of frame. It's really unfortunate we didn't have that one because that was a ESPN highlight for sure. He was way out of in foul territory and just supermaned it onto the turf area of the bullpen here on the visitor side of Frazier Field.
Yeah, I don't even know if the camera frame would have reached that, even if.
Nope, we were too obstructed. Exactly, yeah. We'll have to talk to Mike Holloman about maybe getting some capital improvements to open up the broadcast booth so we have a more unobstructed view. just nips the left arm of Patrick Bolt. And he'll reach first.
I believe that is Brennan Chamberlain warming up in the bullpen there.
Evan Goodwin now will step in. He struck out in his first at-bat in the third inning. All right, well, we lost track of so Bolt was the home run. Goodwin hit by pitch. And that brings up the top of the order, Brody Stallings. Stallings with the 6-3 ground out and a strikeout. He's the shortstop for the Bulldogs this afternoon. Fly ball. Ryan Hartley's not going to get to it. It'll drop in for a double. So Evan Goodwin reaches third on a double by Brody Stallings. Henry Good at 85 pitches, really admirable. We're not quite mid-season at this point. And it looks like Coach Herring is going to come out.
Looks like he's going to go straight to him here.
Henry Good does an excellent job for your Louisburg College Hurricanes. Gets the applause from the stadium audience. 4 innings of work. Gave up 5 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. On a midweek game, 86 pitches gets the Hurricanes into the top of the 5th inning out of 9. Brendan Chamberlain going to be coming in as the first reliever. Chamberlain has pitched 3 innings across 3 games, has had 1 start, faced 16 batters. He's given up 5 hits, 2 runs, has 3 strikeouts to his record so far in the 2025 campaign. Chamberlain, a freshman out of Creedmoor, North Carolina, went to South Granville High School, 6'1", 180 pounds, right-handed pitcher. What other intel do we have on Mr. Chamberlain, Caden?
Well, Brennan Chamberlain, he's an athlete here. He played. I know he played basketball in high school. I know he was a starter on his team, and he was originally going to come here to be a two-way and also play shortstop. But I think once he got here, he ultimately made the decision to just only pitch.
Focus and dedication by the right-handed freshman.
It's tough to two-way nowadays. We only have about 2 that still do it on our team now.
J.D. Scarborough, the right fielder, with runners second and third, no outs. Chamberlain's first offering a bit wide. Scarborough, the right fielder, struck out in his first at-bat and then had a fly out to Nick Lobello in right field. 1 ball, 1 strike on the first batter to see Brendan Chamberlain. Off speed, gets him swinging.
It's a great pitch there to a really good hitter. Hopefully we can get this big out here with runners on second and third.
Goodwin on third and Stallings on second. The 1-2 popped up. Troy Daniels chasing toward the Bulldogs dugout.
Oh, gosh.
And it comes down over the back of the netting. And I think it just...
I don't even think she knows it hit her.
Just missed a young lady who was consumed in a laptop.
She must be the one running their game changer.
Yeah, let's hope she's not multitasking for work.
Looks like she dropped her mouse there.
The 1-2, low and away, gets past Costello. A run will score, and a runner will advance. So Stallings down to third, while Goodwin crosses. The 2-2. Fly ball out of play down the right side. Popped up right side. Nick Lobello calls for it. Charging in, and he makes the throw.
Ooh.
Anthony Jones lets it go through. It bounces over the head of Costello, but behind him is Brendan Chamberlain. Those PFPs paying off.
Just looked like it maybe hit the lip there in the right there at the home plate cutout and bounced right over Teowa's head there. But a very strong throw by Lobello to keep the run at third there and keep him from scoring. Great pitch by Chamberlain there. It's a breaking ball and draws a swing and miss.
Just over the head, bloops it into right field on the right side. So a bloop single scores a run. Brody Stallings crosses. That'll be the third of the inning, 4 total for the Bulldogs, as Scarborough reaches on a single. Take that back. I think that was Josh Mason. Yes. Scarborough had a fly out for the second time to right field. And Josh Mason is 3 for 3. Mitch Jones, he struck out and had a fly out to right field. Chamberlain, a little bit of a cutter, gets the front corner. 0-2 with 1 out and a runner on first.
Doing what he does best there, getting ahead in the count early.
Jones with the quick tag on the pickoff, but not in time. I like that move from Chamberlain. Quick and efficient. The ball was out of his hand mid-motion. And the breaking ball gets away from Costello, And the runner will advance.
Just shoots a bit left there.
The 1-2, breaking ball inside, just misses. Jones batting .333 coming into this afternoon. Slaps one in the right field. Labello lets it bounce once. He can't get to that without losing his feet. And it bounces in front of Jones, and it seems like that shallow infield in front of first is offering some nasty hops. Another run scores. That's 4 in this inning. Coach Herring going to make a mound visit to Chamberlain. As an arm makes their way out to the Hurricanes bullpen. Possibly Steven Williams. I think I saw the sticks on the back of the jersey as he was running out.
Looks like Steven Williams and Harrison Lombardi jogged down to the pin together. Looks like Harrison is up and moving around a little bit. He's tossing.
Another one gets past Costello. Runner advances. Chamberlain got a lot of English on that breaking ball. So Mitch Jones now to third with 1 out. The 3-0 inside walks him. So first and third with 1 out. And the lead has evaporated down to a tie as we're in the top of the 5th inning. Jan Pospisil grounded out to short and then lined out to the center field in his 2 at-bats. Cam Greenway just makes it back in time. That looked close from the booth, but Tony McGee in the infield says he made it safely back under the tag. I honestly might have wanted to defer to the home plate umpire, Evan Kirk, who has a little bit of a better angle. I don't know that that's even allowable, though, on a pickoff call. The 1-0 now to Pospisil. Must have dropped out of the bottom because it looked like it was right down the middle at this vantage point. We're elevated behind home plate in the broadcast booth, so we have a disadvantage detecting if the ball or the pitch is high or low or in the middle. Chamberlain with the 2-0. That one's down Broadway for a strike. And that pickoff gets past Anthony Jones, so run scores, and that goes out of play, and should hold Cam Greenway at second. The 2-1. Uncharacteristic for Pospisil to chase a off-speed pitch that's above the strike zone. Makes it 2-2 with one out and a runner on second. Cam Greenway reached on a walk and then reached second on an attempted pickoff. The 2-2, swing and a miss. Zach Chavez. Chavez with a line out to center field in his last at-bat. 2 outs, runner on second. The 1-1. Swung on, popped up. Evan Slewinski shielding his eyes, and he takes it. Long inning. And the Hurricanes going to look to do something with their bats as Slewinski, Shadle, and Jones will be coming up. When the Bulldogs go back to the plate in the 6th inning, it'll be it'll be Bolt, Goodwin, and Stallings.
Number 6, shortstop, Evan Smolinski.
First pitch to Evan Slawinski, a called strike. And Houston Gorham, second offering. Just misses. The 1-1. Slawinski reached on a fielder's choice and on an E4 in his first two at-bats. The full count pitch, and Slawinski draws a walk out of Gorham. Kenny Shadle, the DH, for the starting pitcher Henry Good, and now reliever Brendan Chamberlain. He singled in his first at-bat. And got out in the second. Coach Tommy Eason makes a mound visit and looks like he's going to draw relief for the starting pitcher, Houston Gorham. Gorham has put in 4 innings of work this afternoon, has given up 6 hits, 5 runs and a walk, has 4 strikeouts. He's faced 21 batters and threw 51 strikes against 79 total pitches. Not a bad day of work for Houston Gorham, the freshman right-hander, as he makes his way into the dugout. His offense has been able to capitalize and take a 1-run lead as we start the bottom of 5. Dale will be the first reliever for the Bulldogs. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning, Evan Slawinski drew the walk off of Gorham before he was retired by Coach Tommy Eason. Shadle is 1 for 2 on the day. Pick off to first, not in time. And it looks like Dale will draw or commit a balk, and Slowinski, or was that a pitch clock violation? I think pitch clock violation. Oh, hit him? Good thing I wasn't watching, huh? Shadle hit by pitch. Slowinski reaches second. And that'll make way for Anthony Jones. Soft roller to the shortstop, and a 6-4. Oh. So 2 outs on a call from Evan Kirk, the home plate umpire and crew chief, and Coach Herring is going to come out and ask what that was about. I think he's probably calling interference on Kenny Shadle's entrance into second base, claiming that it was an attempted block of a throw. By Josh Mason attempting to turn 2. So the call is going to stand. There will be 2 outs and a runner on third. Hartley has 3 walks in his so some conferencing between Evan Kirk, the crew chief, and Coach Herring. Seems to be some questioning regarding whether or not Evan Slowinski should be required to return to second or can remain at third. On the last play, Anthony Jones grounded to Stallings, the shortstop, and then immediately home plate umpire Evan Kirk called Kenny Shadle on interference at second, giving the double play to the Bulldogs. Infield umpire Tony McGee and Evan Kirk, the home plate umpire, now talking through the logistics of whether or not that interference call has any impact on the lead runner, Slowinski. $51 viewers in the live stream this afternoon. Thanks for joining us, Paul Modrak and Elise, Amanda Johnson, Jeff Jeter, and Angie Herring. So Slowinski will be required to return to second. And it's a real edge case as to the ruling. I would not encourage anybody to try to understand it, but if you do, let us know in the live chat. Interesting turn of events, but a runner on second now with 2 outs, and Hartley shakes his head at a breaking ball from Dale. The printout I have of the roster from the beginning of the team does not have Dale. Oh, there he is. Bryce Dale at the top, a sophomore. My apologies. Hidden at the top of the page. Chopped up the middle. Stallings, 6'3". So an unfortunate inning, half inning for the Hurricanes. They get blanked as they'll go back to the infield. When they come back to the plate, Kreiner, Daniels, and Labello.
Chamberlain gonna go back out to the mound here for the Hurricanes in the top of the 6th. Hopefully get 3 quick outs, and so we can go in, get the bats rolling, and score a couple runs.
Coach Herring going to put Brendan Chamberlain back on the bump as he worked his way out of trouble in the last inning. Getting Zach Chavez to fly out to Slowinski. That'll bring up Patrick Bolt, Evan Goodwin, and Brody Stallings. Bolt with the solo home run to left field in his last at-bat. Another right-handed arm warming up in the bullpen for the Hurricanes. Dugout looks a little flat at the moment. I mean, I know it's the beginning of the 6th inning, but need some activity over there. First pitch to Chavez, a called strike. Or Bolt, my apologies. I got Chavez on the mind. He was the last batter to end the 5th inning. We are now starting the 6th with Patrick Bolt and Evan Goodwin on deck. Breaking ball, hung up, and gets dropped into left field. Ryan Hartley on the run, gets to it at the fence. That'll be 2. So Bolt now with a double. To start off this inning. Coach Herring comes out and relieves Brendan Chamberlain. It looks like Harrison Lombardi be the second relieving arm of the day. He's got 8 strikeouts. Having pitched 14 in the 3rd innings so far this season. Has 1 win to his record. and a save.
Lombardi.
Definitely picking up some innings for the Hurricanes. $14 1/3 across 7 games. Having faced 77 batters through 263 pitches, giving up 27 hits in total, has left 18 runners on base.
Lombardi comes from Connecticut. I believe he went to Berlin High School in Connecticut. He was mentioned in a team meeting the other day by Coach Herron of how reliable of a guy Lombo was and how he could go to him anytime he needed to in any situation.
5'9", red-shirted sophomore, tipping the scales in the 180s. I don't know. I'm going to round it up and give him $190.
Yeah, I'll give him a $190. He's been working his tail off.
Evan Goodwin about to step in here in a moment. Infield corners playing in, with Slowinski providing coverage at second and Colin Cusick trying to fill a gap on the right side. Goodwin puts the bunt out and pulls it back, called strike. Never understand that, you know. First pitch down the middle, you got the bunt out there. What, you know?
Why pull it back?
Yeah, let it rip. And there's the bunt on the left side. And the throw is going to draw Jones off the bag and unable to come up with it. Take that back. That had to be Cusick, who was covering as Jones was collapsing. And 1 run will score on a well-executed bunt from Evan Goodwin. So Patrick Bolt crosses the plate. Evan Goodwin makes his way out to second, and that brings up Brody Stallings with J.D. Scarborough on deck. Another bunt on the same side. And Lombardi holds on to it. 2 back-to-back bunts for the Bulldogs. Runners first and third. No outs. 2-run deficit for the Hurricanes. Continued activity in the bullpen. And the fastball gets called strike on the left-handed right fielder, J.D. Scarborough. Scarborough flied out to the right field twice and struck out so far today. Daylight savings time change this weekend. I don't think we're going to get to the lights today, unlike last week. Hard hit right to Colin Cusick, tags in the base path and turns 2.
That's perfect right there. I don't know if you could have asked for anything better there other than maybe a line drive double play to freeze the runner and hold him at third there instead of scoring. But pretty good play by Cusick over there at second to get the tag and make the throw over to first to get the double play. Puts Lombardi in a lot better of a situation also.
Up the middle single for Josh Mason. That is his 4th on the day. He is red hot. Mitch Jones singled in his last at-bat, struck out in the first inning, and then had a flyout in the fourth. Throw down, and that will be in time. Harrison Lombardi seems to be the trick to get the Hurricanes back to the plate as we're in the middle of 6 at Frazier Field in Louisburg, North Carolina. Bryce Dale back on the bump for the Bulldogs with Steven Kreiner, Troy Daniels, and Nick Labello due up for the Hurricanes. Hurricanes trailing by 3 runs. They were leading by 4 at one point. And there's been a turn of events after Henry Good was retired. Bryce Dale's first offering to Steven Kreiner outside.
Looks like we got left-hander Jackson Goss warming up in the pen right beside Maddox Cabbage. Kreiner going to take strike 1 there, looking, make the count 2-1.
The 2-1, swung and a miss. Fly ball, left center field. Going back is Greenway, and he gets it on the track.
Just off the hands a bit there for Kreiner. Flies out to left field. Definitely didn't get all of that one, but still a nice piece there.
Closing in on 50 people in the live stream this afternoon, watching along as the Hurricanes and the Bulldogs face off for the fourth time this season, with one more to go in a couple of weeks. Bryce Dale on the mound as the first relieving pitcher for the Pitt Community College Bulldogs. Troy Daniels in the box with 1 out for the Louisburg College Hurricanes. He takes a next pitch called strike. Daniels behind in the count 1-2 with 1 out and nobody on. And the Hurricanes trailing by 3 as we're in the bottom of the 6th inning. The 1-2. Inside. And it's going to drop in front of Greenway for at least a double as it gets past him to the fence. And Troy Daniels with a stand-up double.
Great hands there by TD. Way to get in on that baseball and pull it down the left field line for a double.
It's kind of a danger zone in left field that really kind of seems to be a no man's land when that ball gets into that corner. Easily giving up 2, potentially 3 bases depending on the runner. Just a tough spot for the left fielders on either team to have to cover. And Coach Tommy Eason going to make a walk out to talk with Bryce Dale, the sophomore right-handed hurler. He's only had 15 pitches and has faced 5. There's plenty of arms warming up now in the bullpen down the left field line for the Bulldogs. We got representation watching from Florida. Some other folks here in the Carolinas. If you're of the 50 people that are watching, let us know where you're tuning in from. About 2 hours and 10 minutes on the broadcast clock as we're covering Louisburg College Hurricanes baseball here live from behind the backstop on the Louisburg Sports Network via YouTube. Frazier Field is the name of the park here. Homage to the NJCAA Hall of Fame coach, Coach Russell Frazier. He's got plenty of championship plaques on the wall behind us. We're going to have to get a talent cam in the broadcast booth here eventually to let everybody at home see who's doing the talking and see what the history of Louisburg College baseball has been all about for many decades.
There's a lot of Coach Frazier memorabilia also in the clubhouse there.
15 championship plaques on the wall over there. We got an old black and white behind us from probably the first inaugural team of Louisburg. I hate to try to guess when that might have been, but as the kids would say, that's old-timey. And I'm not talking the 80s either. I'm talking probably the, gosh, I don't know.
40s, 50s,
yeah,
maybe?
It's looking kind of ancient.
It's looking like a Great Depression there.
So a little bit of relief pitching change right now. Lanier on the bump for the Bulldogs. He's the third total for the day, but second for relief out of the bullpen. Shane Lanier is a sophomore right-handed pitcher out of Plymouth, North Carolina, Beargrass Charter High School, where he hails from. Having a heck of a time trying to get to the stats within each of the team's websites to provide everybody some insight. Every time I go to statistics, it just wants to show me those who are on the roster for today on the lineup card, and it doesn't do us any good when we're talking about relievers coming out of the bullpen. Guess I have to learn how to use the internet. Right fielder Nick Lobello now stepping into the box. Lobello with a solo home run shot in his last at-bat in the 4th inning. And Lanier's first offering to Lobello, low and away. Patrick Bolt doing the honors behind the plate for the Bulldogs. with Pospisil, Stallings, Mason, and Chavez from third to first. Troy Daniels as a runner down on second. Line drive up the middle. That's going to drop in front of Jones, Mitch Jones, and Daniels will reach third on a single by Nick Lobello. Back-to-back productivity for the Hurricanes between Troy Daniels with a stand-up double into the corner in left field, followed by Nick Lobello with that single up the middle just a moment ago that dropped in front of the center fielder. And that makes way for the top of the lineup, Teowa Costello. He's on a tear, 2 for 3, reached on an error in the first, and then came back with 2 base hits in the third and the fourth. We're now in the 6th inning. Breaking ball gets a called strike. Lobello was late on the jump, and he gets tagged out. Kind of a second thought. So 2 outs with a runner in scoring position on third. An 0-1 count on Teowa Costello. Another breaking ball yields another strike from Bryce Dale. Still got the scouts here in the stadium seats checking out players, I'm sure, from both sides. 4-year college representing the scouting row. The 0-2 outside. So spring break week for the Hurricanes. What's been the activities so far? Just daily practices?
Well, this was my first day back. I got the opportunity of going home and spending a couple days with my family. So I drove back this morning, but I think the team's just been practicing and having some meals because the CAF's obviously not open on spring break, and just I'm sure that's it's good team bonding though. Spring break, you don't have class. You're just with your team constantly and with your coaches.
The 1-2 just misses. I almost thought Evan Kirk was going to call that a called strike. It looked very similar to the other 2 breaking balls from Bryce Dale.
But no, I think the agenda pretty much stays the same. Just try to keep winning games.
2-2 with 2 out and goes outside again, trying to get Teowa Costello to chase, but he's got very good plate discipline. I can't recall seeing Costello really making too many bad choices.
Yeah, I'm pretty. Costello had only 7 walks and I'm pretty sure 100 and something at bats. It's in the 110 somewhere, but last year he had only seven strikeouts.
So far this year, through 19 games, he only has 3 and leads in average for the Hurricanes. So a lot to say about the catcher and sophomore in the D1 commit.
Everything you can ask from your leadoff guy here.
Payoff pitch. Swung on, grounded on the left side, and that's going to get just under a diving, smothering Stallings. Brody Stallings made a very valid effort as a shortstop to get on top of that ground ball from Teowa Costello. An RBI single for the catcher.
Coming out to bat, the second baseman, number 1, Colin Cusick.
So Costello was picked off the last time he was on base. We'll have to see. That was because he slid through. He was so aggressive on the run down to second. He just slid through the bag, had to reach back for it, but the tag from the middle infielder was just right there. Like you said, Caden, the timing was perfect on behalf of the Bulldogs. Costello, he's drawing the pick, but not in time. And Gorham, I'm sure it's in the box score somewhere, but he must have thrown over to Costello half a dozen times at least in the
at least
in the 3 times that he's been on first base, and that's conservative estimate.
It's good for him though for using everything he can get. The umpire's definitely not afraid to call you out over there on the pickoff attempt.
Runner goes, the throw down, and that's not going to get him. So another stolen base. Makes it 15 on the season so far.
It was a good hold, a good pitch, and a good throw by the catcher. Just better base running by Teowa there.
That last offering from Bryce Dale to Colin Cusack did not find the strike zone. And now the 1-0. Breaking ball on the hands, soft blooper. Stallings comes up with it. Right in front of Greenway, the left fielder. They nearly collided, but found it anyway. When the Hurricanes come back to the plate, Slawinski, Shadle, and Jones. Josh Mason was caught stealing in the 6th inning, so Mitch Jones steps back in to start off the 7th on behalf of the Bulldogs. Lombardi deals, and the first pitch fouled off out of play on the left side. Hurricanes put one back on the board in the bottom of the 6th. 2-run game now as we start the 7th. Harrison Lombardi on the bump. He came in behind Brendan Chamberlain and the starter Henry Good. Good doing yeoman's work. Really kind of put in a lot of good work on the mound for the Hurricanes and Coach Herring. I'm sure Coach Herring is very proud of the freshman right-hander. Kind of performance you need out of your freshmen. By mid-season, they just start coming out of their shell, starting to find their rhythm. Lofts it into left field, and again, there's that no man's land. And Ryan Hartley finally gets to it as Mitch Jones rounds into second. So a leadoff stand-up double as we start the 7th out of 9 for this afternoon. Jones is now 2 for 4, and that brings up Cam Greenway. He is 0 for 2. He walked in his last at-bat and grounded out to Troy Daniels in his first 2 in the second and fourth. But we were making comment, right? Everybody should be on guard here. He tends to get ahead of it and then over the top of it, rolls it over to the left side of the infield. But we just saw Greenway showing the bunt. Anthony Jones in on the grass on the right side, and the bunt laid down right in front of first. Costello with a bullet down to first. He gets back, gets the bat out of the way, and he's ready for more action at the plate.
Very athletic play there behind the plate by your catcher, Teowa Costello.
Yeah, he's showing every bit of his D1 commitment to Pine Bluff, Arkansas.
Yes, sir.
And Coach Herring's going to come out. He's calling out to the bullpen. So we'll get another pitching change here as we are in the 7th inning. Top of the 7th. And Harrison Lombardi is going to give way to another teammate jogging in from the outfield bullpen. Jackson Goss coming in. He's had an inning and 2/3 of appearance so far this season. Has faced off against 20 batters. Little Johnny Cash playing in the stadium, but we're unable to put it across the broadcast. Otherwise, we'll get a copyright strike, but favorite of mine.
Jackson Goss comes from East Duplin High School. Jackson played baseball and football there. Played linebacker on a state championship football team.
Left-handed sophomore, 6'1", topping in at 210 pounds. He had made 13 appearances, pitched 14 in the 3rd innings last year with 15 Ks. Mount Olive, North Carolina native. Jan Pospisil. He's 1 for 3. Grounder backhanded by Anthony Jones with the hot mitt.
Way to look the runner back at third by Jones there, and not just let him run to the plate. Way to field the ground ball, then freeze the runner, then make the play at first. It's textbook by Anthony Jones over there at first base.
First baseman unassisted for the second out. Sack bunt by Cam Greenway moments before that. Pushed Mitch Jones over to third. And now we're looking at the first baseman, Zach Chavez. He loops one into right field. That's going to drop in front of Nick Lobello on one bounce. And that'll be an RBI single for Chavez.
Unlucky there for Goss as the left-handed hitter just gets his hands in on the breaking ball there to shoot it into right field for a little bloop hit, and it's going to bring the run in.
Unlucky for Goss, unlucky for Lombardi. He'll get charged with a run as He put that runner on, and the pitch just past the ankles of Patrick Bolt. Bolt is 2 for 3. Had a stand-up double in his last at-bat, and the one before that, he put one off the top of the fence line in left field. Had a very loud, audible ding. Sounded like a bell being rung.
Very low latitude on that ball there too. It's probably only hit lower. I'd say lower than 30 feet in the 30 or 40 feet in the air the whole way out.
The 1-2, breaking ball fouled off, keeping those spectators on their toes with a quick foul ball into the netting. I want to see somebody put their beer up on the ledge just behind the net and, get a foul ball into it and blow it up. I saw that on ESPN or something the other day. Guy right behind home plate. Check swing. Costello gets to it before Chavez can take off.
Get a little beer splash.
I believe Louisburg College is both tobacco and alcohol free, so maybe it'll have to be a Coke or a Pepsi, right?
Yeah. Or a ginger beer.
Deuce is wild, 2-2. Goss's fastball just crosses over the plate a little bit too low, says home plate umpire Evan Kirk. The payoff. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball, loses the bat. Costello touches him. Home plate umpire Evan Kirk calls him out. When the Bulldogs come back to the plate in the 8th inning, it'll be Goodwin, Stallings, and Scarborough. Right now, though, the Hurricanes will come up with Slowinski, Shadle, and Jones. Hurricanes baseball on Louisburg Sports Network, brought to you in part by Murphy Hay and Feed, feeding farms, families, and the community for over 30 years. And Mangum Insurance Agency, with offices in Coates and Dunn, North Carolina, products and service for each and every situation. And Johnny's Barbecue, located in Louisburg, North Carolina, offering authentic Eastern North Carolina whole hog barbecue. Louisburg College Hurricanes hosting Pitt Community College Bulldogs in the 4th of 5 matchups this season. And at one point earlier in this game, the Hurricanes looked like they were going to finally pull one over on the Bulldogs. Until about the 5th inning, when the obedience training started to evaporate. And the Bulldogs put 5 on the board in the 5th, followed by 2 in the 6th, and 1 in the 7th. Whereas the Hurricanes only answered back with 1 run in the 6th between those 3 innings. They did, however, put a total of 5 on the board between the 1st and the 4th inning. So the Hurricanes really need to get that storm brewing again here in the back half of the game. Caden Lasley on the mic with me. My name is Bill Martone. You're watching Louisburg College Baseball. And we're coming to you live from behind the backstop on Louisburg Sports Network via YouTube. Evan Slowinski takes a called strike from Ryan Johnson.
Pretty good pitch there by Johnson. Hits the black there. It's a tough pitch to swing at early in the count, but it's definitely a strike. Second one might have been a breaking ball, just kind of carried out of his hand, goes above Slowinski's head there.
Johnson, a right-hander out of Greenville from Conley High School. Deals the 1-1, a fastball that rides up. And the next offering fouled off out of play. 2-2 on the leadoff batter. Johnson, a Cane of his own. He played for the Canes Travel Showcase organization under Coach Chris Keown a couple seasons ago. Now, crew chief Evan Kirk is going to make a walk out, give a new ball to Johnson. Umpire's privilege there to stall the game a little. And
I don't know exactly what happened there.
the payoff pitch to the leadoff batter. Check swing on a high fastball, walks him.
Could have noticed maybe the pitcher touching his hat or something or another, maybe checking the ball or just making sure the ball was
Slowinski now has walked in his two last appearances, while Shadle had a leadoff single in the first inning, but then hit into an out and then ran into a fielder's choice after being hit by a pitch. So kind of a obscure situation where he was advancing from first on a ground ball. Would have been a double play, but some type of interference call from the crew chief. Johnson's first offering to Shadle. And now a 1-1 count. Bit of a cutter fouled off by Shadle. Shadle leading the team in home runs. Has 10 RBIs on 11 runs, has been walked 11 times, struck out 9. There goes number 10. And the first out of the inning. Anthony Jones, first baseman. Jones reached on an error in the first, lined out to left in the third, and then grounded out into a double play in the fifth. He is due for the day. 0 for 3. Outside breaking ball gets the strike to start off Anthony Jones. Slowinski down on first. Not look like he's posing much of a threat. And Johnson now with 2 quick strikes on the first baseman. The 0-2. Fastball hacked down to the left side off of the backhanded glove of Stallings. And another E6 on the day. Allows Anthony Jones to reach again. He reached on an E6 in the first. Jones hits a ball hard on the infield, so doesn't make it easy for the likes of Brody Stallings to have to backhand that kind of hard-hit ground ball. First and second, 1 out. And Ryan Hartley steps in for James Green. Green started the game in left field, made a tremendous diving catch in foul territory On the left side, a seeing eye single for Ryan Hartley. And Coach Bryce Myers holds up Evan Slewinski at third. Bases loaded, 1 out. Great seeing eye single by Ryan Hartley on the opposite side as a left-handed batter. Kreiner with a strikeout, a single, and then a fly out to left field so far in the game. And Coach Tommy Eason is going to make a trip out to talk with Ryan Johnson. There's at least one, maybe two arms warming up in the bullpen for the Bulldogs. Some context for Ryan Hartley. He's a freshman out of Fuquay-Varina, graduated from Willow Springs High School. He, too, not much unlike Ryan Johnson, former Canes Showcase travel ball player. Very popular organization in the Carolinas. Not uncommon to see any number of former Canes Showcase players showing up in JUCO. Kreiner last year ended the season with a .297 batting average, 6 home runs, 9 doubles, 8 stolen bases. And Johnson reaches back and lets one rip, but the fastball rides up a little bit over the top of the strike zone. 1-0. Brings it down and a little bit in, but still doesn't seem to be to the liking of home plate umpire Evan Kirk. The 2-0. Breaking ball on the left side. Gets past the diving Pospisil. Jones with the blazing speed across home plate. Makes it a 2-run single for Stephen Kreiner.
Now coming up to bat, the third baseman, Troy Daniels.
Hartley on second, Kreiner on first, and Troy Daniels had a nice piece of hitting in his last at-bat, a stand-up double down into the corner of left field, but he looks out a first pitch called strike from Ryan Johnson to start off his fourth at-bat. He's 1 for 3 on the day, but always a threat. Athens High School, local product of Raleigh area. Breaking ball from Johnson just misses as Bolt tries to frame it in. One out, runners first and second. Troy Daniels with a 1-1 count. Ryan Johnson deals. Breaking ball fouled off. As the umpires Evan Kirk and Tony McGee were walking in, you were talking to them earlier. I caught them as they were coming into the stadium, and the crew chief Evan Kirk asked me, when I asked for their names, if we would be on the radio. I said, no, sir, that's old-timey. We'll be on streaming live, and a foul ball down the left side. So he was quick to ask, how can I go back and watch it tonight when I get home?
Well, that's always good. The umpire wants to go watch his mistakes and watch his highlights, Improve his game like everybody else is.
Hartley down on second. Kreiner on first, and Ryan Johnson steps onto the rubber and deals the 1-2 outside to Troy Daniels. 1 out. 55 people in the live stream following along with us. Thanks for giving us attendance. And according to the crew chief, Evan Kirk, Ryan Johnson either committed a balk and he's licking the ball. That's what's happening. So he's licking his hand and then touching the ball. I think that's what happened as Johnson then threw the ball over to third base coach Bryce Myers, and then he threw it into the dugout. Twice now, the crew chief, Evan Kirk, kind of putting out the ground rules, one in each direction, one against the Hurricanes, now one against the Bulldogs. He is not one to give warnings. And Coach Tommy Eason's going to come out and likely give relief to Ryan Johnson. I thought Johnson was doing a decent job. Only able to get a third of an inning of work in the book before giving up 2 hits and 2 runs, 2 walks, and a strikeout. But Coach Tommy Eason talking with Tony McGee, buying some time, as it looks like we'll have another pitching change for the Bulldogs. This will be the 4th pitcher, 3rd out of the bullpen for the Bulldogs. By comparison, the Hurricanes are on Jackson Goss. He's the 3rd out of the bullpen, 4th total on the day. So kind of an equal use of the bullpen here on the midweek game. Getting some live at-bats for the pitching staff, keeping them tuned up. Watching some D1 broadcasts, and even those coaches commenting about hopeful to get anywhere from 45 to 55 pitches out of their starting pitcher, and then not being afraid to go 10 arms deep out of the bullpen to get 9 innings. So not much different here at the JUCO level, especially on the midweek.
Not a big difference at all. I feel like it's mostly just confidence, really. Just whoever the coach is feeling confident in that day or at that time.
Hate to promote another YouTube channel, but there's a young man who's putting out some abbreviated, edited recaps of D1 games. Wheels.
Okay, yeah.
There you go. And it's a great service because you can really catch, just the highlights, kind of the pitches that result in either a walk, a strikeout, a hit, and, all the action plays.
Yeah,
and
you still get to sit down and watch about 12 minutes of it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I was just going to say, you get through 2.5 hours of 9 innings in 12 minutes.
Yeah.
And I obviously watching, get some cues on the broadcasts as well as what they're doing in the graphics, and then as well just to kind of keep a finger on the pulse of the D1 level teams.
Oh no, he's definitely making a name for himself. I believe probably just about everybody in the dugout here and up in the box up here watches Wheels.
Yeah, and a lot of work to get that together.
Ton of work. I'm sure he's got some editors that works for him also.
Yeah. Nick Labello now stepping in to the box. Hopefully we'll get an update in Game Changer as to the reliever behind Ryan Johnson. It looks like it's going to be, well, we don't know yet. First pitch to Nick Labello, a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. Hathaway Davis Hathaway, the freshman right-hander from Greenville, Rose High School. pulled down the left side, seeing hit single. That's going to be at least one RBI for Nick Labello as Kreiner holds. So Hartley scores, Kreiner holds at third, Daniels to second, and Labello with an RBI single. Brings us to the top of the order with Teowa Costello. He's 3 for 4 with 3 singles and a reach on an error. Popped up, and that'll go out of play. Boy, I feel like I just read off a name of the relieving pitcher. Yeah, well, and then all of a sudden Game Changer reverted back to Ryan Johnson, so it had me questioning.
Shout out to Stephen Lawrence. Should be down there running the Game Changer. He just had surgery not too long ago, I believe this weekend.
Hathaway now takes the count 2-1 with 1 out and bases loaded.
He's not here.
Hard to see that scoreboard with the setting sun, but right now it's a tie game in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Stephen Lawrence is not running the Game Changer. Get well, Stephen. Hope to see you soon, buddy.
Davis Hathaway delivers the 3-1, and Costello lines it to left. Greenway under it, and Kreiner tags up. And the Hurricanes take the lead again. So a sac fly RBI for Teowa Costello. 2 outs, runners first and second as Cusick steps in. He flied out to the shortstop in his last at-bat. He started the game being hit by a pitch, then a single, then a ground out, 6-3. He's 1 for 3, but showing glimpses of productivity. Takes a first pitch called strike from Davis Hathaway. Hathaway goes a bit outside, 1-1. Breaking ball finds the outside corner. The 1-2, just inside. Nearly got hit by another pitch. Two arms warming up in the bullpen for the Bulldogs. The 2-2, swing and a miss. Due up next for the Hurricanes when they come back to the plate in the 8th inning will be Slewinski, Shadle, and Jones. Welcome back to Louisburg College Hurricanes baseball on the Louisburg Sports Network, live from behind the backstop, coming to you via YouTube. Harrison Lombardi on the bump, and Evan Goodwin at the plate for the Bulldogs. We're starting the 8th inning with a one-run game between Louisburg and the Bulldogs. Back and forth as the Bulldogs started off with a single run in the first, put 2 more on in the third and then the fourth, then gave it all back in the top of the 5th and just took it back in the 7th with 4 runs. Been some high-scoring games here in the last few weeks for the Hurricanes, Caden.
It's been a bunch, yeah.
First pitch, a called strike. Maddox Cabbage on the bump.
The game against Lenore, the walk-off game against Patrick and Henry, all of those games have been pretty high-scoring games.
So Evan Goodwin starts off the 8th inning with a single up the middle, and Brody Stallings now steps in. This will be his 5th at-bat. He started off the game with a strikeout, then a ground out to short, followed by a double and a bunt that actually afforded him to reach first. Cabbage goes outside as Goodwin shows the bunt. Good bunt, and Jones will pick it up in foul territory. Six four, and not going to be to 3 in time. So Stallings grounds into a fielder's choice, and the Hurricanes choose to get the lead runner.
Everything's been...
One hop to Slowinski, and the 6-4-3 still not able to get turned, but that's that slow bounce to the shortstop, just eats up too much time to get the...
About as quick as you can be with it right there, just runner just legging it out.
Back-to-back fielder's choices, puts 2 outs in the book, and a runner on first. That's J.D. Scarborough, Josh Mason. He singled in his last at-bat and then was picked off.
Great pitch by Cabbage there. Just misses maybe a ball off the plate.
The 1-0. A hard breaking ball that rides up high. Fly ball, Kreiner slips, but he'll get to it, and that'll be 3 Slewinski, Shadle, and Jones coming up for the Hurricanes in the 8th inning. And it looks like Adam Little, right-handed sophomore out of Fayetteville, North Carolina, went to Cape Fear High School. He's going to be another arm out of the bullpen for the Bulldogs. Second pitch from Adam Little, a breaking ball that misses. 2-0 count now on Evan Slewinski, the shortstop. Slewinski is 0 for 2. Walked in his last 2 at-bats and reached on a fielder's choice and an error in his first 2. So something immediately not seeming to be right for Adam Little as Patrick Bolt goes out. And Coach Tommy Eason kind of looks like a unhappy body posture there for Little. I don't know if he maybe felt something, as it looks like we might have one of the training staff came out to inquire. I think we're going to get some practice pitches. I've seen this before. A pitcher feels something not right in their arm, and it's always a big question mark as to whether they should.
It's a scary moment, especially for a pitcher. You know, as a pitcher, I mean, as a hitter, you know, you get hurt. There's some other stuff you can do sometimes. As a pitcher, if you get injured, that right arm's kind of everything you are.
Coach Tommy Eason was very focused as Little took a couple of practice pitches. Slewinski at the plate, Little on the mound. The 2-0 popped up into center field. Backing up is Mitch Jones, and then he comes in after a misread, and that puts one out on the board. Shadle had a bit of a run in the last few games with home runs. Today, a little bit on the quiet side. He's 1 for 3, but he's a selective hitter, and he goes after the good pitches. Off-speed breaking ball from Adam Little gets a called strike to start off Shadle. Another spinning breaking ball from Adam Little, 0-2. He's ahead in the count. Definitely shaking out that arm. I hate to think what he's feeling, but the 0-2. Fastball that sinks a little too much and brings the count up to 1-2. Caden, do any pitching coming up through the ranks? Travel ball, high school? Have you?
Oh, no, I've never pitched. Nope. It's, I mean, you know.
Off-speed ground ball to second. Mason to Chavez. Makes it 2 outs.
No, sir, though. I've always just caught the pitcher. Never been on the throwing side of things. Maybe had 1 or 2 appearances in my career. Travel ball, that's it.
You opted for the tools of ignorance?
Yeah, yep. Opted not to be a weirdo.
Jones over 4. He is due. And the first pitch from Little rides up and over the top of the strike zone. Little deals the 1-1 and finds the strike zone. Two out, nobody on. Bottom of the 8th inning. Adam Little deals the 1-2, and Anthony Jones skies that one out of play. So how does Coach decide, Caden, as to who gets the foul balls? Is that just short straw at the beginning of the game, or is that revolving?
It's really just revolving. It's just revolving, just based off of what guys are in the dugout at what time. But we have this thing called a home run lab, which there'll be a select group every day. We'll have to go after BP and go look and check out and pick up all the home run balls that were hit during BP.
Little deals the 1-2. That ball lofted in the left field. Oncoming is Greenway, and he'll take it for the 3rd out.
Similar to one of his previous at-bats, just off the end a little bit there, but he finds a barrel and puts it into left field, but retired for the 3rd out.
When the Hurricanes come back to the plate in the 9th, it'll be Hartley, Kreiner, and Daniels.
For your Louisburg College Hurricanes, Elijah Monsanto.
Top of the 9th inning, Elijah Monsanto on the bump. I'm sorry, Ben Blondino. I got names going all over the place. And Monsanto is in left field for Hartley. So across the outfield to start the 9th inning will be Monsanto, Kreiner, and Labello. That's from left to right. On the infield, no changes. Daniels, Slawinski, Cusick, and Jones from 3rd to 1st. Teoa Costello still behind the plate as Ben Blondino starts off the top of the 9th inning. And Mitch Jones receives a hit by pitch. Blondino with 14 2/3 innings of work, has appeared in 6 games, had 1 start, and has faced 62 batters. He's given up 13 hits, has 16 strikeouts, 4 of those looking. 3.068 ERA, and has left 14 batters on base so far this season. crew chief Evan Kirk and Tony McGee conference in the middle infield, and they give the first base to the leadoff batter, Mitch Jones. Coach Herring comes over to talk with Evan Kirk. Wish we had a microphone on them. That would always be fun to be able to hear the conversation. What are some of the protests that maybe the coaches bring to the umpires? I'd say this is at least the second, maybe the third call the umpires have made, and Coach Herring as well as Coach Jimmy Eason have been quick. And now Coach Herring is being told by Tony McGee that he's stalling the game. That was pretty loud and clear on the mic. Definitely a disagreement between Coach Herring and the umpires.
Get along by.
Ben Blondino takes a couple of practice pitches just to keep his arm warm. And after saying his piece, Coach Herring retreats to the dugout. Tony McGee to the middle infield and Evan Kirk behind the plate. Cam Greenway, number 11, steps in. He's 0 for 2. Blondino deals. Fastball up and in on Greenway. Greenway with the sac bunt in his last at-bat. He also got walked and grounded out to Troy Daniels at third twice in the beginning of the game. The 1-0. And crew chief Evan Kirk states that Cam Greenway was hit. So 2 HBPs back-to-back. No activity in the bullpen for the Hurricanes. Coach Herring is going to let it ride and try to get through the end of this with Blondino. Blondino, a red-shirted sophomore, 6 foot, closing in on 200 pounds. Forest, Virginia, Lynchburg Christian High School. Lots of chatter out on the field. Jan Pospisil puts up the bunt, draws it back. Blondino misses. 1-0. No out. Runner on first and second. Daniels having to stay near third as Pospisil is going to try to bunt down the third base line. Blondino presumably would have the coverage on a slow roller on the left side of the infield. Crew chief Evan Kirk saying that Blondino is coming double set, but gave him a warning.
Not sure what the
Pospisil fouls off the bunt. The 2-1. Pospisil pushes it on the left side. Troy Daniels throws it past Colin Kusick, and a tying run scores. Really a no-win situation for Daniels. Had to charge on it. It was on his side of the field. Fielded it nicely barehanded. Made the throw as quick and hard as possible over to Cusick as Jones was collapsing as well to cover on his side.
Just a good place bunt there.
First pitch now to Zach Chavez, called strike. He singled in his last at-bat. Fly out, a line out, and a walk. And he watches that breaking ball drop in. (10-10) score. If you're watching Game Changer, it's behind. Mine's finally catching up as Chavez slices that one foul out of play. No outs. Runner second and third. Tie score, top of the ninth. The Hurricanes are going to have some work to do when they get back to the plate. It will be Monsanto, Kreiner, and Daniels, but right now, Ben Blondino trying to help the Hurricanes. The 1-2. Swung on, high fly ball, right field, backing up is Labello. Before the track, he gets to it, and runners will tag as the throw comes into second. So a one-run lead now as Greenway crosses. So a sac fly for Zach Chavez. And Patrick Bolt comes up. He struck out in his last at-bat. Doubled before that, homered before that, and had a fly out to left field. Monsanto's got to have his hands full with the setting sun in left. Daniels, too, at third. Blondino hits Patrick Bolt, but, man, that sounded like a hit off the bat more than anything.
The knob.
Yeah. Kind of interesting that you don't get those, foul ball calls on a clearly bat-impacted pitch. And Coach Herring points to the dugout and gives instruction to somebody, and probably going to be a swap out for Anthony Jones. He'll go to the mound from first, and Jace Dunn likely will take his place at first. We're in the top of the ninth with only one out, and the Hurricanes trailing by one. They're going to have to try to make this up, but right now, Anthony Jones coming off the corner of the infield as a reliever. Jones has put in 4 1/3 innings of work so far this year. He's thrown 80 pitches to 25 batters. He's had 3 strikeouts and only given up 1 walk. I think Coach Herring has been holding Jones in his back pocket for exactly this situation, trying to see how far he could go into the game and specifically into the 9th inning before he pulled it and put Jones out there. Jones had a start in the first midweek of the season and actually did quite well.
Yeah, it did really good.
Jones, another prior Legion baseball player for Coach Chris Cook. as has Daniels at third. Number of players make their way up through, whether it's JUCO or any of the NCAA ranks after spending a season or two playing Legion ball. Was reading an article, listening to an article on my way up here today about a conversation with the president of the NJCAA stating that he cannot seem to get the attention of the NCAA's president to discuss what appears to be a conflict and a disparity between the requirements for JUCO athletes of any sport to transfer into the NCAA. They have a higher standard for grade point average. There are a lot of other restrictions and requirements that have to be met. And obviously the looming question of that ruling for the quarterback of Vanderbilt, whether or not the JUCO years will no longer count toward eligibility in the NCAA. One-two in the book between Jones and Costello. Gets the runner at home. Costello does an excellent job of guarding that plate and getting the tag down.
Holding on to the ball, too.
Leaves no question for the home plate umpire, Evan Kirk, as to the outcome. So Jan Pospisil tagged at home, and Evan Goodwin reaches on a fielder's choice. Top of the order, Brody Stallings. Stallings with a fielder's choice in his last at-bat. He's had a strikeout, a ground out, a double, and a fielder's choice bunt. Two outs, runners first and second. Anthony Jones deals the 1-0 off-speed pitch that drops in the dirt right in front of Teoa Costello. The 2-0 hit in the air. Kreiner coming in. Makes it 3. Coming up for the Hurricanes, Monsanto, Kreiner, and Daniels. Aiden Van Bear for the Bulldogs. Freshman right-handed pitcher out of Fairfax, Virginia. Robinson Rams High School. Last year they went 13-12. Beautiful Wednesday evening here at the far end of West College Street, Louisburg, North Carolina, at the Louisburg College baseball field, Frazier Field. Even drawing out the college president, Dr. Brown, and his wife, Lori, sitting in the stands, watching along as the Hurricanes face off against the Bulldogs. As we start the bottom of the 9th inning, Jake Modrak pinch hitting for Monsanto. The 1-0. Hit hard on the left side and through past the third baseman, Pospisil. And Jake Modrak starts it off with a single.
Now coming up to bat, the center fielder, number 4, Stephen Kreiner.
So Modrak on first, and Kreiner now at the plate, tries to bunt, and the home plate umpire, Evan Kirk, calls it a strike, says that Kreiner committed to it, and did not draw it back in time. Kreiner singled in his last at-bat. He's 2 for 4 on the day. Modrak with the secondary lead, and again, the bunt unsuccessful. Modrak gets back in time with a pant full of dirt under his belt after he dives back head first. Swing and a miss makes it 1 out.
Now coming up to bat, the third baseman, number 8, Troy Daniels.
Just to remind our viewing audience, this copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Louisburg College baseball team may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, while the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Louisburg College baseball. Modrak trying to draw some attention from Patrick Bolt behind the plate. It was successful earlier in the game. There were a couple of missteps from the catcher that allowed the likes of Costello and others to reach a base ahead. The 1-0. Bit of a cutter that drops in and evens up the count, 1-1. A 1-run game in the bottom of the 9th. The Hurricanes looking to walk it off with the tying run on first. Home plate umpire Evan Kirk informs Van Baar that stepping off after the batter was set is basically a reset. Daniels slices off the inside pitch, stays alive, 1-2. Hurricanes have already had at least 1 or 2 walk-offs so far. I know James Green with the single walk-off.
That's the only one I know of,
All right,
off
1.
the top of my head.
The 1-2 to Daniels. Swung on, slapped again, foul down the right side, out of play. Those shingles on the batting cage barn are getting a real workout. One out and a runner on first. The tying run on first, Daniels would be the winning run. The pitch from Van Baar outside, 2-2. Daniels reached on a balk and doubled prior to that in his last 2 at-bats. And he's bound and determined to stay alive. He's fighting off everything. The high fastball outside fills up the count. Daniels with a home run and 7 singles on 8 hits, batting .286. And he draws the walk out of Van Baar. So he is the winning run that's on base. As Nick Lobello steps up, he's singled in his last 2 at-bats, and prior to that, dinger. So a home run and 2 singles for Nick Lobello in this game.
Home run over the left field wall. Bit of a line drive out of here. Didn't get any higher than the scoreboard there.
Van Baar's first pitch, a fastball that rides up. One arm in the bullpen for the Bulldogs. Van Baar comes back with a 1-1. Middle infield playing deep, as are the corners. The 1-1, swung on, fouled off into the net. The tension is palpable.
This is the dream situation right here. Bottom of the 9th with runners on base. You just want to do some damage and bring your RBIs in.
The 1-2. Too far outside for Patrick Bolt to convince home plate umpire Evan Kirk that that was a strike, but a valid attempt as a catcher to try to frame it back. The 2-2. Hard foul ball into the backstop netting. So we had Coach Frazier outside the press box door earlier this evening. We got the president of the college and his wife checking out the game here late. The 2-2 again. Foul tip into the glove of Bolt. Makes it 2 outs.
Now, what's it up for the Hurricanes? The catcher, number 13, Costello.
Feel like I'm reading a very long resume here. He reached on an error in the first, a single in the third, another single in the fourth, a third single in the sixth, and then a sac RBI in the 7th. So if Teoa Costello has anything, it's the high probability of a good outcome, with the winning run on first and 2 outs. Aiden Van Baar misses on the first offering. Down the middle, and Costello lets that one go. The 1-1. Foul tip. Cat got your tongue?
What'd you say?
Cat got your tongue?
Yeah.
The 1-2. Costello slashes that one foul and stays alive. The home plate umpire cleans off with one swipe of the foot, just enough so he can see the inside edge of the plate. The 1-2 swung on and fouled off again.
See if he does it again. See if he swipes the plate again with the.
I'm a stickler for details. I'd rather he go out there and get the old brush out and, you know, get the whole thing. But it is the bottom of the ninth. We'll cut him some slack.
I know James always asks whenever he gets up to the plate if you can clean it off for him. Hopefully Tay can get into one, put one in the gap right here, and bring both the runs home.
The 1-2, check swing. Evan Kirk says not close enough. The 2-2 popped up. Hold. Cam Hole is the catcher right now out of Charlotte. The 2-2. Inside, hack toward third. Pospisil grabs it in foul territory. You can cut the tension with a knife right now in the stadium. Two out and the winning run on first. The 2-2. A big breaking ball, misses high. Aiden Van Bear unable to bring that one down. And he fills up the count. The full count, check swing, foul ball. I hate to say, they caught me looking away for a split second. When I looked up, the ball was coming off the handle of the bat.
Looked like a little check swing right there.
I honestly think if he had just leaned back and not check swinged, it would have been a ball. The payoff pitch. Fly ball. Right field. Getting under it, though, is Scarborough. And the Bulldogs are going to make it 4 straight against the Louisburg College Hurricanes so far this season. One last matchup between these two teams yet to come in a couple weeks on a midweek. But for today's ending, the Pitt Community College Bulldogs walk away with the win, 11-10 after 9 full innings, 11 runs on 13 hits, 5 errors for the Bulldogs with 10 runs, 12 hits, and 3 errors for the Hurricanes. For Caden Lastly and Coach Herring and the entire Louisburg Hurricane Baseball organization, I'm Bill Martone saying thank you for tuning in to watch Hurricanes baseball.